Welcome to Women with Drive, a show by the Deakin Melbourne Boomers, talking all things Aussie women's hoops. Hosted by Boomers' own Lou Brown. Women with Drive.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Women with Drive, presented by the Deakin Melbourne Boomers. I'm your host, Lou Brown, and what a week it has been. The Boomers, along with all the other WNBL clubs, are now all finally into their pre-seasons, getting ready for the season to kick off early December. The countdown is on and the stage is set for our first game, December 8th in Bendigo, and first home game in our new home at Parkville on December 11th. Against in-state rivals Southside. You can check out the full WNBL fixture online or can find them on our social medias. Now, this season, the WNBL is adding arguably the best import talent it may have ever seen, naming WNBA players such as Jackie Young and Marina Mowbray at the Perth Lynx, Monique Billings in Townsville, Brittany Sykes at Canberra, Stephanie Watts at Sydney, and Kiana Williams at Adelaide. Players that if you are not familiar with, you need to be and will be after this season. But in the first episode of Women with Drive, we met Lindsay Allen, the Melbourne Boomers import out of the WNBA. And tonight, I'd like to introduce our other import, Lindsay's teammate in Indiana, Tiffany Mitchell. Tiff is a 6-year WNBA starter, a player that's going to give our team even more excitement than it already has. She will add so much flair, experience, and just a whole other dimension. Someone who I'm very excited to play with. I interviewed Tiff recently where she spoke about what she's most excited for coming to play in Australia and her very special non-for-profit organisation that she started in honour of her single mother, SPIN, Single Parents in Need. Here's my interview with her, and hopefully next time we'll be getting her in the studio.
Women with Drive.
But let's start with college. The University of South Carolina is a huge program led by Hall of Fame player and coach Coach Daley, who also just coached Team USA to the gold medal in Tokyo. Mm-hmm. But I would like to ask you about your relationship with Coach Daley. And before I do that, we are going to share with you that video that I just mentioned.
Look who we see working on that broke shot. I don't chase rebounds. The only rebound made shots.
You gotta get it out the net. You gotta get it out the net, man. Let me get a good pass. Let me see your Virginia passes. Virginia days.
Go ahead,
no, I need them. Virginia. Oh!
Do you remember that? Remember you played Stanford your freshman year?
No. Yeah, unfortunately.
And someone out in the social media world pointed the finger and said, you were the reason why we lost the game?
I sure do.
Huh?
It was a sad day for me.
It was a sad day?
Sad day.
It was a sad day for you, but do you remember how you responded?
The next game?
The next game. The next year, I think you might have had double-double. Like 22 points and 10 rebounds. We had to go back in the history books, but I know you responded well. I don't think you look back from there. Hey, Tiff?
Yep.
What was the hardest part of your 4-year career?
Hardest part for your career probably be adjusting to, trying to think and play at the same time. Still trying to work through that now, and then coming back from injury, I haven't dealt with until this year, which is a big adjustment for me because I wasn't used to sitting down a lot. I put a lot of pressure on myself to make those shots, and then when I miss, it messes with me mentally. But the whole process, it was long process. I didn't like you said, it was tears, angry, confusion. I don't know, my head was everywhere.
What are you looking most forward to in the future? After you hang up the garnet and black?
Those sad days are about to come up slowly, but of course I'm looking forward to playing professionally, wherever that is, just to get a new look. with things, new scenery, We're kind of just ready to experience something else.
It's a process though. Every step of the way, you're gonna feel like a freshman next year. As a rookie, you're gonna feel like a freshman until you make the adjustment and you play and you get some experiences, which is good though. We'll have to revisit after your rookie year in the WNBA to see how you felt and see the adjustments that you make. But when it's all said and done, it's basketball.
Right. I'm done. You gotta know that. You gotta end.
Oh, that's so cool.
Nice.
She seems dope.
Yeah, she's great, man.
Just to add, when the Boomers were recruiting you, Guy Malloy reached out to Dawn Staley, who sent the following message about you. She said, "Tiffany is the hardest worker I have ever coached. She will be in the gym before and after practice. She is the ultimate professional and really just wants to win." Obviously, that's unbelievably high praise, and relationships with coaches are central to us as players. Can you share with us a little about your relationship with Coach Daley?
Yeah, it's great. She's like a second mother to me. I think she was one of the only coaches, the coach that did it the best, that kind of treated me like a player or a person more than a basketball player. I know a lot of coaches kind of get wrapped up into the game cycle, the practice cycle, and forget at the end of the day, that we're human. And I feel like whether I bounced another ball another day in my life, Coach Daley was going to support me in any direction that I wanted to do in my life. But she's very personable. I was starstruck at first when, she was recruiting me in high school because she was my favorite player growing up. So I had to get over that fangirl mode and come into like her player and have that connection with her. I was telling, Tony and them when I was talking earlier before the season that I'm a huge relationship person. So once I felt like, she trusted me and we had that player-coach relationship, I know I'll run through a wall for her. And I feel like she'll do the same. So I think that definitely helped with our success in college as a team and my own success as a player.
You come from a single-parent family, so another great mentor, your mother, Cheryl, a teacher, and an older brother, Tori, who you credit with getting you into playing basketball. Also, that's inspired you to become an advocate for single parents and start your own non-for-profit organization, SPIN, Single Parents in Need. Tell me a little bit about this part of your life and where you see it heading.
Yeah, Spin Haven is the name of the foundation, and just basically providing a safe place, opportunities, resources to single parents, knowing that my mom raised myself and my brother by herself. I think she did a pretty good job with doing that on her own, but I know there's other mothers, other parents that weren't as successful as her as raising their children, and they're actually struggling. So my mom tried her best to make it seem like we weren't struggling, even though it was just her. So never once did I feel like, I was missing out on something. She played both roles really well. And now that I'm in the position to kind of navigate through that, and I know the ups and downs that a single parent can go through, even though she tried to not let us see it, I know it was tough. And it's a lot of people that's not as strong as her probably that do need the help. So instead of, people reaching out saying I need help, I'm providing the help first, and I'm reaching out and saying, if you need me, of course, like I'm just trying to help one person at a time. I know I'm not going to change the world and all the single parents overnight, but I feel like my part is just doing what I can right now. Hopefully, my nonprofit grows into something even like super huge, worldwide, just helping out everybody. But right now, I just want to focus on who I can relate to and who I can touch right now at the moment.
So to start your journey as a professional basketballer, drafted to Indiana Fever in 2016, now you mentioned your sixth year with the Fever, played in Israel, Turkey, Russia, played EuroLeague and Eurocup competitions. You're sitting in Israel in April earlier this year, and the opportunity arises to come and play in Australia for the Melbourne Boomers. How did this come about, and why Australia? Why the Melbourne Boomers?
I don't know. Australia kind of came about kind of out of nowhere, but I think it was like a good, out of nowhere. Like I've been in Israel the past 3 years, of course, so it's a place that I was comfortable in. I had built a relationship with, the staff, the management. Like I said, I was just comfortable there. Other places that I wasn't happy. I was playing on really good teams, really good countries, but my mental wasn't that great. So I think Australia was brought to me by my agent, and I was like, I'll see. I don't know yet because I haven't played outside of Europe, Israel. But other than that, I'm used to European competition and everything, so it never really crossed my mind to come to Australia. But at the same time, I've always heard good things about Australia. I just never looked into it. So finally, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna look into it. And then my agent came to me with Melbourne, and once just asking around as a player does. And then, of course, Lindsay being on the team in previous years, of course, I went to her, just asking questions about, just the team, the city, the management, typical questions players ask before they get to the team that other players have been on. So I literally heard nothing but good things about it. And it's similar to Israel in some ways. And then just talking to, the staff and how relationship based, the team is, and like how people are a family. I feel like I thrive in those situations because I like feeling like, these are my sisters, and I have their back. I hate being on teams where, everybody's kind of just scattered. They don't really talk to each other. They don't really hang out. There's teams like that, but I feel like the most successful teams always have that bond, on and off the court, which makes them so successful. And I think in previous years, from what I've heard, the Boomers align right with that.
But before you go, we have a segment on Women with Drive where our members get to ask some questions. Mm-hmm. And I have a couple for you. Just two. This one is from Jessica, who is 13 years old. She plays for McKinnon Basketball. She asked, Tiffany, welcome to Melbourne. Who was your favourite player to watch when you were growing up?
Oh, yeah. It's pretty easy. What I said earlier, Coach Daley, of course. Yeah. When I was younger, it's rare that someone my age had a WNBA team in their backyard. We had a Charlotte Sting, and I saw the WNBA early on, and knew that's where I wanted to be later on in my life. At 10 years old, I'm like, I see her doing it, like I want to be in the WNBA too. So it's rare that you have that such at an early age, or you have that access to a WNBA team.
Yeah. And second one is from Jacob, who is 12 years old and plays for the Jets. He asked, Tiffany, which Australian animal would you like to meet during your visit to Australia?
A baby kangaroo. They're called joeys, right?
Yeah, joey, or you got the miniature ones. It's like a wallaby.
A wallaby, any type of baby kangaroo. But then I heard they were kind of mean though. So I don't know.
No. Well, we'll go to the zoo after training and check them all out. But I know, as I mentioned, everyone at the Melbourne Boomers and here in Australia are so excited to have you, and I'm excited to be able to suit up with you. I think we're going to have a pretty big time team ahead of us. So I hope everyone here will be able to make it a home away from home for you.
Absolutely. I'm excited to come. Like I said, I can't wait to get there.
Lindsay and Tiffany are en route to joining us and will be in Melbourne very shortly. We're all so excited for them to get here and finally add the last pieces to our team and get this season booming. Now, after the break, I'll be joined by two future superstars.
Women with Drive.
Now, next I have something a little more fun for you guys. I got to speak with under-19 silver medalists Jade Melbourne and Nyadiew Puoch. Nyadiew is currently a basketball athlete at the Centre of Excellence at the AIS, and Jade, after a breakout season in the WNBA hub last year, will be suiting back up with the Canberra Capitals this year. These two ladies are superstars already, but definitely also the future of women's basketball here in Australia. I had a great time with them both while also learning their stories. Check it out. Now, Nyadiew, as well, you are bottom age for this tournament, meaning you will be eligible for the next Under-19 World Cup in 2 years. What did it mean for you to be selected as a bottom aged player?
It meant a lot to me. Like, I was shocked to myself because I was like, this is crazy. Like,
I wouldn't have thought I'd be like here doing this kind of stuff. Like I'd be watching like the under-19s from like 2 years ago and like being like, oh, like I want to do that kind of stuff. And then being picked on the team was like, oh, like I get to do this and like I can do it again in 2 years' time as well. And having the first experience to go over and like give it a go and have a try and all the experience, it's so exciting for me to be like, oh, I can do it again in 2 years and be top age as well.
No, that's awesome.
Really cool.
As you said, it's such a huge opportunity to be able to go ahead as a younger player, and then now, with the next opportunity to make the under-19s, you'll be more of a seasoned player and even have more of a successful tournament, hopefully for yourself in particular. But also, Jade, a huge congratulations. You made the All-Star, the FIBA World Cup All-Star starting five. What were your emotions like when they called your name?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I mean, like, it's something like I didn't expect. Like, you don't play for the individual accolades, and the whole tournament, like, I was just super focused on the team and getting a medal. So it didn't even cross my mind, really. I was just so driven by getting a medal, getting around my teammates, and just playing the best basketball we could. We played a really selfless brand of basketball, so I didn't really think any of us were going to get it. But then, when they tapped me on the shoulder and said, you're getting presented with it, I was really honoured to be named in that team, and like I look back at it and it's a pretty cool achievement. So, but obviously I didn't play for it, but to get recognised in it, it's a pretty special feeling, and something that I'll cherish forever.
Yeah, that's so great. And do you get a little watch as well? Is that what it is?
Nah, so only the MVP got a watch. So
okay.
Class, so I would have liked some new jewelry, but
the
trophy was pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. Now I have a couple of more lighthearted questions for you guys about your teammates. Yeah. So let's just start off with, who was the funniest player on the team?
Oh, I would say like
a bit of mix.
Yeah, I would say like Kyra and Shanice are pretty funny.
Together, yeah.
Yep.
So a little bit of a duo there.
Yeah, Nards and Dallas like to gang up on people.
Come on.
And then Izzy Morgan. Everyone's pretty funny, actually. I think everyone had a really good person in that group. And if someone was like on the money that day, like they were a funny person. So it was a bit of a mixed bag, that one.
Yeah, everyone had their day of comedian of the day. Yeah. Now, next question. Who would be the best person to follow on social media?
Oh, it depends. We weren't the most active team on social media.
Yeah, nah.
So you guys weren't making TikToks on Hungry?
Like Charlie and Izzy and Lily, they were making TikToks.
They love TikTok, yeah. And
I love it.
Yeah, their Snapchat was quite frequently updated, actually.
Now, this one is for the both of you, so you guys answer individually. It's a zombie apocalypse, and you've got to survive with two teammates. Who are you taking?
Go Nards.
I feel like I'd take Millie because she would just have the smarts to do like something really smart to get us away, and I wouldn't take Dallas or Izzy because I would die. I'd probably take Jade just to make it feel like I'm not gonna die, and like she'll just be there like laughing at everything. So I'd be like, I'll be alright.
And Jade?
I would take Millie as well. She's just smart. She'd know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd probably take like Polly too, because I'm like real energetic and come up with some crazy ideas sometimes, and she'd just like keep me grounded. She'd be like, no, like there's a zombie there or something.
Yeah.
Like, we have to relax.
Bring you back to reality a bit.
So yeah, Polly.
Yeah. What's something you learned and have been able to take away from your time at the COE?
Like I learned so much. Like I was there for 2.5 years. Like Veely and Sarah taught me so much about the game. Like I've walked out a whole different player in person that I walked into the COE in 2019. So the biggest takeaways, I guess, would just be like the hard work, I guess, like because at home you can tend to like slack off and stuff, but I guess like learning that there's like no days off really. Like you get in what you put out. Oh, you get put. Oh, how does that line work? You get out what you put in. Um, and then yeah, you just gotta maximize everything there. Like you have access to so much, and like the opportunity only lasts for a little amount of time. So yeah, just making the most of it. Just learning, picking people's brains every day. But yeah, I just learned so much, and I just can't thank the AIS enough for like having me there for 2.5 years, because the learning and the growth I got as a basketball player was unbelievable.
And Nyadiew, this is your first year. How are you finding it? And can you give our listeners a bit of a breakdown of what the day in a life of an athlete at the COE is like, maybe on a Wednesday?
Yeah. I'm like loving every second here. Like experiencing everything, like new things every day, learning new things every day, and like coming in here, I wouldn't think I would be able to do the half the stuff I've been doing right now. Like I was like, there's no way I'm capable of running up and back like 5 times without getting tired. But like getting fit, getting stronger, and everything is good. And like not just also being like a basketball player, but outside of that as well, like being a better person, a better teammate, and like making like being a big role model to like my siblings or like kids back home and that kind of stuff, and like kids looking up. And day in life here. So currently we're in like COVID restrictions and stuff. So like besides that, like on a normal day, we would on Wednesday 6 a.m. gym. So go to gym 6 a.m. Because I go to school, so I'm still in 11. It's still in year 11. So I'd come back, get changed, get on the bus to go to school at Lake G. So about 10 minutes away from here. I do school from 9 to 1:30, and then from there I'd come back, eat lunch, get ready, go to training, have practice for an hour and a half or 2 hours, go to recovery, come back, go to study, do study, and then from there I'll have free time. So it's a pretty busy day, you think about it, but it's really like eventful and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I went to the AIS, gosh, going on almost 10 years ago now. That's a long time ago. But I found the biggest thing I took away was, Naj, you just explained your day starting at 6 a.m. and then you go into class, you're coming back, getting lunch, maybe getting a workout in, then you're going back to class and you're coming back for training, tutoring, all the rest. But I think the biggest thing I found was learning how to manage time and prioritize what you need to do on a day-to-day basis as well. Jade, you were committed to Arizona State University, but had opted out after, and have now signed with the Canberra Capitals again for the upcoming WNBL season. What led to this decision?
Yeah, so I mean, it wasn't an easy decision. So after the hub last year, Goz kind of said, "Look, we'd love to have you back," kind of thing. So I was like, yeah, like this is actually a legitimate option now. So like going into the hub, I was like, I'll play this and then I'll prepare for 6 months and then I'll go to college. But after the WNBL hub, like I absolutely loved it. And the growth and learning that I was able to get out of that, just a short 6-week season, I thought, okay, this might be a legitimate option for me. So I was tossing and turning. There was some sleep loss between like January to May. And then finally in May, I just spoke to a heap of people that were close with me and that I trusted. And then I came to the decision that it's like nothing against the college program and stuff like that. But I think for me personally, like I'll get more development and more growth in my game out of the WNBL rather than going over to the college system. That's why I decided to stay here and stuff. And I guess playing against like veterans every day, training against people and learning off them, like just doing film, indies, gym, I just think it's going to be a better long-term thing for me. So that's why I decided to sign on with Canberra again. And I'm looking forward to the WNBL season now.
No, I remember watching you in the hub last year and you had absolute breakout 6 weeks there. So that was really awesome to watch. And now I know this upcoming season there's a game potentially, hopefully scheduled to be played in Traralgon for you against the Melbourne Boomers. What would that mean to you to be able to play back home?
Yeah, it would be unbelievable, really. Like, Traralgon Basketball have supported me and given me so much help throughout my basketball journey. So they've just built a new stadium too recently that I haven't had the opportunity to play a game on. So, I would love to go home and play in front of all my friends, family. people I went to school with, and kind of showcase like how much they've helped me. And then playing a professional game in my hometown, like that'd just be super cool, and something I'm really excited for if it is to go ahead.
Yeah, I hope for your sake it can absolutely go ahead. I know you're probably itching to play a game on that court. Yeah. And Nyadiew, you are, as you mentioned, you're at Lake G in year 11. Do you have any idea kind of what pathway you may want to take? I know you may not have made any decisions, but whether that be college or WNBL.
At the moment, I'm kind of looking forward towards just going and do the WNBL. Not sure if like college is the pathway I really want to take, but I'm not 100% sure with that yet. Because like at the end of this year or at the start of next year, I might be like, oh, maybe I can go give college a try. But I'm not 100% sure. But like I still have it kind of in the back of my mind.
We will be playing the Canberra Capitals this season at Jade Melbourne's hometown in the Gippsland on the 8th of January in a WNBL doubleheader. You will not want to miss it. Thanks everyone for tuning in tonight for another episode of Women with Drive. I'll catch you next Thursday with more from the Melbourne Boomers as we are gearing up for the season. Have a great evening.